Putin has announced that Kazan Declaration, which contains 143 articles, has been adopted and will be distributed as a joint document at the United Nations. Judging from the content of the document released by Russian side, what China, Russia, and India want is all in it, and the United States has been in a hard situation. In order to facilitate everyone to understand more intuitively, today the Chinese are analyzing it from the following angles, hoping it brings some benefits for them. First, the BRICS countries' position on Ukraine is written into the summit declaration, reminding all countries of their positions on the situation in Ukraine and its surrounding areas, pointing out the mediation proposal for peacefully resolving the Ukrainian conflict through dialogue emphasizes that all countries must act in accordance with the purposes and principles of the United Nations Charter. There is no doubt that the positions of various countries on the Ukrainian issue are the most concerned issue for Russia and one of the focuses of this summit. Putin had one-on-one exchanges with almost all the leaders who came to the meeting to discuss the Ukrainian issue. Indian Prime Minister Modi proposed that Russian-Ukrainian conflict should be resolved peacefully, and the Indian side is ready to provide assistance for this. The Russian presidential assistant said the Russian side believes that the Chinese and Pakistani initiatives on the Ukrainian issue are intentional. Although the Kazan Declaration did not promise to support any party, Russia broke through the Western diplomatic blockade with the help of an economic conference, and Putin basically got what he wanted. Secondly, the BRICS summit clearly pointed out in the declaration that it supports the comprehensive reforms of the United Nations Security Council to make it more representative. At present, India is seeking support from various countries to join the DPRK. The BRICS Summit declaration specifically mentioned this item, which is also promises that India wants most. According to analysis, this item was inserted into it for many reasons. When BRICS Summit was held, China and India finally put aside their differences and reached a solution on border issue. At the same time, the Chinese and Indian high-level officials also held a bilateral meeting for the first time. With the improvement of Sino-Indian relations, China is also willing to do a favor. Secondly, against background of Russian-Ukrainian conflict, Russia urgently needs to stabilize India, an important partner to support reform, and the Security Council is a sweet treat for India. On the first day of BRICS summit, Putin met the guests from many countries in succession, but only Modi enjoyed a unique treatment and gave him a huge hug. Thirdly, of other countries, there is general hope that the reform of the Security Council will increase the voice of Global South. Chinese President Xi Jinping attended the BRICS summit and he called BRICS Plus Leaders Dialogue at Kazan Expo International Exhibition Center, delivered an important speech titled The Combining Great Strength of Global South to Build Together a Community with Shared Future for Mankind. In his speech, President Xi Jinping stated that we should uphold peace and strive for common security, reinvigorate development and strive for common prosperity, and promote together development of all civilizations and strive for harmony among them. These points are concrete embodiments of China's three global initiatives within the BRICS cooperation mechanism. The enthusiastic response they had generated clearly shows that the global south countries are seeing a momentum and hope for building a better tomorrow through BRICS. Xi Jinping stated global south countries marching toward modernization is monumental in world history, unprecedented in human civilization. The BRICS cooperation mechanism was born from the wave of collective rise of global south countries, making BRICS the most dynamic part of today's global economic development. Naturally, BRICS carries the imprint of global south, resonating with and consolidating the common vision, core demands of global south countries for the future. This is, we must uphold peace and oppose war and turbulence, pursue development and eliminate poverty, remain open and oppose exclusion, stay engaged in cooperation and oppose confrontation, strengthen solidarity and oppose division, as well as uphold equity and oppose bullying. Thirdly, the BRICS Summit Declaration specifically mentioned that it was deeply concerned about destructive impact of illegal, unilateral, coercive measures, including illegal sanctions on world international trade and the realization of sustainable development goals. The decisions to take measures to support the reform of the WTO, the abuse of financial sanctions by the United States and the West has caused great damage to the operation of global economy. China is the biggest victim. In addition, the United States has been promoting unilateralism, isolationism, and trade protectionism around the world, and the United States and Europe have imposed tariff on Chinese goods for their own selfish reasons. However, WTO's dispute settlement mechanism is now at a standstill, and it is urgent to reform WTO. What China needs is to unite more forces. Fourthly, reforming Bretton Woods system institutions, encouraging the use of local currencies for transactions, and studying the establishment of BRICS clearing system is a blow to hegemony of United States dollar, US dollar. The Bretton Woods monetary system is ultimately an international monetary system centered on US dollar after World War II. This system is unfair to developing countries and makes countries and objects of arbitrary harvesting by United States. Whether it is calling for the use of national currencies for transactions or studying the establishment of BRICS clearing system, The goal is to overthrow the global financial system dominated by the United States with US dollar. Well, greater BRICS cooperation. Xi Jinping proposed building a BRICS committed to peace, a BRICS committed to innovation, a BRICS committed to green development, a BRICS committed to justice, BRICS committed to closer people to people exchange, which represent the shared direction of BRICS countries' efforts. In fact, the development of BRICS mechanism to date is a result of practical and steady work in the right direction, building a new world brick by brick. These five commitments are the guiding direction for promoting a stable, sustainable development of greater BRICS cooperation and serve as the five pillars of BRICS, supporting the community with shared future for mankind and representing a better future in which the common values of peace, development, fairness, justice, democracy, and the freedom for all humanity are realized. The Chinese model of greater BRICS cooperation is poised to grow even larger. Since the launch of BRICS cooperation mechanism is a series of significant initiatives have been introduced and implemented, genuinely benefiting countries and their peoples. These efforts have played a crucial role in promoting global stability, security, facilitating interconnectedness in global production and supply chains, and addressing the risks of deglobalization. Countless practices demonstrate the greater BRICS cooperation stands on the right side of history and will contribute to building a community with a shared future for mankind.
After watching this video,
Thanks for
don't forget
all
to
of
give it
you.
thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we post new content. Your support means a lot and helps our team create more videos like this. Thanks for watching.